Kanika Vasudeva is a bold expansion mentor who helps visionary leaders and entrepreneurs grow their wealth, visibility, and impact without burnout. With an MBA and corporate background, she combines energetic clearing through Akashic records with practical business strategy, a unique approach born from her journey through profound loss and transformation after losing her daughter. Kanika guides clients to clear subconscious blocks that limit expansion, step into authentic leadership, and build businesses aligned with purpose. Her work delivers both immediate breakthroughs and lasting transformation by addressing what's hidden beneath surface level tactics. In this podcast episode, she shares how to identify patterns blocking wealth and visibility, why visibility alone doesn't attract clients, and practical steps to expand your capacity to receive and lead with confidence.
And welcome to Freelancer Training on How to Find More Direct Clients, a podcast hosted by myself, Jason Willisley. This is the show that makes digital marketing easier and more fun using the perfect combo and just the right dose of business strategy and tech. I'm your host, Jason Willisley, digital marketing enthusiast, and today I'm very thrilled and honored to welcome my special guest. Her name is Kanika Vasudeva. Kanika brings a very unique perspective to our discussion. Kanika, welcome to the show. How are you today?
I'm doing really well. Thanks, Jason, for having me here.
Thank you very much for coming and for your time. Could you just, as an icebreaker, tell the audience a little bit about your background and what exactly you help your clients with? I know you're a mindset coach. You're an energy mindset coach. What exactly does that mean in practice?
Yeah, so I'm an energy healer. And actually, that's a really, really good question because people can just think, like, what does that mean? So it's very good to break that. Um, we are all told that we are energetic bodies. If you walk into a store and you're listening to some nice music, automatically you get into that vibe. The friends you've called and you love their phone calls. And then there are other people that you meet and you're like, well, I better run away.
That's very true. Very true.
So we are all really energetic people. We are energetic bodies. And when we say, hey, I'm disconnected, I'm disenergized, I do not feel like doing this anymore, I feel demotivated at work, there's something going on. We are actually saying, well, my body has a disbalance and it's energy, and I want to shift that. So that's what I help people do. When we balance our energetic bodies, amazing things happen. Like you get a lot more peace. You're able to have a lot more loving relationships. You're able to be more visible. You're just really able to be a lot more expansive and meaningful in your life. With clients that I work, there are just so many examples um, of money coming in for them, or them relieving their migraines, or them getting over their fear, or sometimes just getting clarity on their purpose. It's just amazing what starts happening once you really start aligning your internal energy. That's what I help my clients do.
Okay, fantastic. So let's take the money. I want to talk about three topics: hustle, visibility, and the money. Let's start with the money because you just mentioned it there. What is actually happening when we freeze around money? How do we clear a deeper block into this? What are the energetics of money? Why is pricing difficult? Why clients don't come even sometimes when we're doing everything right? What are the kind of somatic energetic shifts that dissolve money resistance and create a sustainable abundance? Because I try and teach people, teach myself, first of all, an abundance mindset, not a scarcity mindset. And I see a lot of people with scarcity mindsets. They want to get out of debt as quickly as possible, pay off their mortgage. And what do you do in terms of energetic shifts in terms of money?
Yeah, don't we all? And I love money as it is such a fascinating subject because obviously, like with money, you can buy a lot of good things in life. It gives you happiness. Um, and also, money is very transparent. You know how many dollars you have in your bank.
Yes.
There's a figure, right? Whereas we can be confused about the state of our relationships, or was I really right? What really happened there? That can be confusing. Money is very clear. Money is tied to everything in terms of energy. So when we say love, when we say trust, everything is actually everything in the world. And you would have heard that from other people as well, that we are all one, all the energies sync together. But money is a beautiful way of seeing that. And I love your phrasing there where you said, well, you're talking people, you're telling them to get out of a scarcity mindset. And that's very different to an abundance mindset. And maybe we'll do like a quick exercise. Let's think scarcity. Let's think control. Like, I've got to control the money. I've got to control the outcome. And the minute you do it, like, if you want to say or express with your hands what control looks like, you will control it, right? You will close your fist. You will physically control that. Abundance mindset, expansiveness. Now, think your heart is open. You're inviting everybody. Your hands, the expression changes, right? It's expansive. So they don't sync together. So when we are going from the place of competition, or that maybe I have to control it in some sense, and I'm controlling it and then trying to get the abundance, whether that is money, whether that is love, whether that is new opportunities, that cannot happen if I'm operating with control because they're not the same. So, abundance mindset, if it's open and you want to receive, you want to say, hey, I want more money, I want more loving relationships, right? We want that. It also begins internally with having that openness more. It begins with us trusting ourselves more. It begins, first of all, the price, and you'll often find it. And let me ask you, like when you're coaching your people, see them in the first year. Um, and when you see their pricing, do you feel that they're pricing themselves accurately, or do you often find that there's a adjustment that needs to be made?
I mainly find that people are undervaluing themselves, sometimes massively. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. And that's what I find as well, all across the board, because people are not really valuing themselves. And it's not their fault. We've been taught, we've grown up in societies where there's an equation for how much hour time you've spent, what is the money that you get. We've been used to a salary. So we've been accustomed to having our worth defined by others. Even before money came into the equation, actually, there were things where we called, where we were praised that, this was good, this was bad. So we very soon learned that we were good or bad because somebody thought something that we did was good. Or somebody thought something I did was wrong. So, that part of me should be hidden. You see how the worth gets affected there.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, money and pricing and value-based pricing is a big, big topic for any services industry, and it is for mine, the language services industry. But I mainly find I had a client where she gave the testimonial about the pricing, and we found that she was probably 100% lower than, so she basically doubled her price after working with me. So it's a big, yeah, money is a big energy factor, as you said.
It's a
Let's move
big
on to.
activator.
uh,
It's a big activator. When you say that, oh, this is the price that I'm claiming, the first transformation that happens with that statement is that I am worth this. The results that I'm going to bring for you, that is worth this. And then when you allow your clients to pay you the full price that you deserve, you're actually activating them to their higher space of transformation as well. Like there's just more willingness to transform, to grow, because that energy has shifted for them. When they're investing $5 versus, let's say, $1,000, $5, you don't care as much, right? And so you're not super invested in it. When you're investing something that takes you at least a little bit out of your comfort zone, you're like, well, I rather take this seriously. So money is a very activating frequency, and it's such a
mm,
gift for your clients as well to offer them the full price, to allow them to pay you the full price so that they can have the transformation that they deserve too.
let's move on to hustle. Last year, I was attending a summit in Cambridge. It was called the Long Haul Leader Summit, and this was hosted by Chris Ducker. And there's a lot of work being done on hustle. Why is hustling harder not the right answer? Why does that keep us stuck and how do you align the energy of your clients to sort of get over this counterintuitive truth that overworking and overpushing repels opportunities away. If we're tired and exhausted, how are we going to be in good shape to do our best work? Whilst clarity and energetic alignment can draw them in naturally. Can you share any examples of how you've successfully worked with a client who was hustling too much to kind of turn this mentality around?
Yeah. And again, I love your insight there because this is exactly what I say. There's a book called 10x is easier than 2x. Love,
Uh-huh.
love the book. Because when we think of just, marginally increasing our revenue, our impact, whatever that KPI might be, we are still very much operating from that conditioning of I've got to do these 100 tasks. And so then we say, okay, if I want to take in more clients, well, I'm probably going to add more things there. I'm going to maybe have more one on one clients, but we often add on activities when we are thinking in terms of just a slower growth. And it just keeps you in that auto loop. But often, when my clients start working with me, I'm not giving them extra work. In fact, I'm reducing their to do lists. So they might have 10 in the beginning that they're doing. And then I'll break it down to three because literally, even when I do that three, there's their hearts almost like, gosh, I can't do this. Like, what are you doing? You're taking away everything from me. We have been accustomed to doing a lot and seeing, especially in corporate jobs, people who are walking out of a corporate job, they've just done lots of meetings and lots of things. At school, we've been taught to study so much, and we haven't always utilized that. So we're just very used to doing a lot of things, not always connecting the activity with the output, with the result that we seek. But it gets easier the bigger your goal is. So if you just said, well, I'm going to 5x my impact, I'm going to impact so many clients, um, I'm going to have my services so widespread, automatically you cannot think with this system that you've already got and you just multiply that a lot more. So, what I teach my clients is that the activities that you do, first of all, reduce at least 80% of your activities. And then, whatever you are doing, let's do that better. So, you still do uniquely what is yours, and you do that better. I'll give you examples. Like one of my clients, she's working with me because she's just wanted to start her business and she doesn't even have a website right now. There's literally nothing in place, as the marketing gurus would say. There's no Instagram profile, there's nothing that. But she is very good with writing. She's very good with conversations, and she has places in her current workplace and so on where she just has genuinely good conversations. All we've done is we've got that system working for her. We've got an offer defined. We've got a place where she can deliver the services, and that's it. Like she doesn't need the extra bells and whistles. Often the bells and whistles and the extra things they can come in later and they really
Mm.
take you onto the 2x mindset rather than the 10x mindset. Like think of what do you need right now? Put that first and then do the other things. Then the other clients where I worked with them and it is again if they've come to me with I'm doing this, I'm posting on social media, I've got this funnel, but this was not working, this was not working. I go, right, where are your leads coming from? Let's look at that. And whatever that is, let us do that better. And once we've really perfected that, once you've mastered your art, you do you better. Once you've done that, then we look at the next things. And often that's not even needed because the world just needs your genius. You become a bigger master of your own art and serve yourself and serve the world in a better way.
Let's talk about visibility now and fear of being visible, fear of I guess it's fear of failure as well. Why does visibility feel so terrifying, and how can we make this safer? So lots of talented people I've seen just freeze, and when it's time to show up, and whether it's time to do a presentation or prepare a course or something, what is going on with the nervous systems, the old sort of patterns and the spiritual blocks, because this comes from our childhood. How do you sort of teach visibility as a leadership practice? You're training business leaders, and how does safety unlock the real sort of authentic presence that opens doors and opportunities? How do you deal with visibility with your clients who are afraid of visibility?
Yeah, I love the question. And you so spot on. And again, what's happening is that as we are growing up, there's conditioning that happens to us. It might be labeled as lots of different sorts of fears, but we've basically been told how we have to be, how we have to perform. So we've almost given our own power and we've given it to someone, maybe a boss, maybe a parent, maybe a friend, maybe the social media, maybe our work environment to say, well, if I do it this way and you like it, then I'm okay. And true authentic leadership is actually about peeling all of that, really being just more you, authentically you. Because that is your genius. That is what you bring to the world. The way you operate your business, the way you think about your systems, that's going to be very different. But the way you do it, that juice, that's not provided by anyone else. So it becomes pretty opposite, right? In a sense that you're growing, and every business owner will tell you that they have this own inner learning, inner evolution, inner shedding that happens. They have to peel off layers. So, first of all, visibility gets very hard because you are discovering yourself in a new manner. Business entrepreneurship is very clear. You'll see what is working, you'll see what is not working. Because if things are not moving, if your business is not successful financially, or if your system operations are not working, you just know like it's not working. So it's a good process of shedding and learning. And then that can be a very uncomfortable process as well. But the business growth is literally just embracing that and going, well, this I don't need to be perfect right now. And this is who I am. It's embracing those parts of you that don't feel that great. And it's embracing the parts of you that feel good as well. And it's just accepting yourself. But I would always say that instead of trying to be visible for someone else in a certain way, like, doing things on social media in a certain way, actually go back to you because you are the beacon of light here. So you go back to you go back to your reason for starting that business, your whatever that deeper calling is, you go back to you. You get more aware of what is it that you want to do and you operate more from that light. The more you operate from that inner purpose, that visibility will just automatically start coming in because people are listening to your energy, your presence before they see your words, before they hear you. It's your energy. We are energetic beings. It's your energy that's just pulling in people who are in alignment with you.
Isn't a lot about Kanika? Isn't it about finding joy through work? Is it about because
Mm-hmm.
that's what the productivity gurus say. You have to find joy. Work shouldn't be a slog. You shouldn't be getting the Sunday scaries just before Monday morning. You should find joy through work. How do we do that? Because that's easy to say, but not so easy to do in practice. How do we find joy through work? We all sell our time for money. I mean, I'm dipping into entrepreneurship, but what pays my bills is the time I'm selling for service customers. How do we find joy through work? Do you have any sort of maxims to
Yeah.
follow, or how difficult is this?
And I love that because it is so paradoxical, right? It should be so easy to go like, okay, I'm just going to have fun and then I'm going to make
Correct.
money through it. But often what I
Yeah.
find with coaches, and I've done this myself, I've see that with my clients as well. For the longest time, I was the number one resistor to my own success. And I see that over and over again with my clients as well. Because we have a hat, there is a controlling hat, and it tells us this is how things have to be done. Like, I know how to do it. The image I can give you is like, think of perhaps, well, little kids, maybe they're 3 or maybe they're 7. And sometimes you're telling them that, hey, I'll teach you this program or I'll teach you how to do this. And then they go, no, I know. I know how to do this. And you can see that they don't really know at all, but they're just hell bent on doing it their way.
Correct.
And that's a lot of time what we do as well. And even for all the logical thinkers, I'll just encourage you for 1 minute to postulate this with me. I think that every idea that comes to us is bigger than us. There's something outside us that sends us this idea, and we are the carriers for it. So, whether that's your coaching business, whether that's a discovery that mankind's made, I think it sort of flows into us, and there are few people who catch it and then who bring it out. And if you can, because literally, whatever the reason why I think this is that whatever comes into you, you would see that the more you start doing it, it's like alliances and things just start shaping up automatically. You don't always know the next step, but it shapes up automatically. In fact, the theory for 10x is that you do something which is just so wildly out of you, but you feel so passionate about it because it's not like that is the universe's job. It will come and it will fill the gap for you. So if the idea, if your calling is bigger than you, then perhaps we can relax
Mm.
and we can go, okay, I can relax and the universe will do the job. And this is how it works. When you relax, when you play, and if you can imagine that there is a bigger force that is at play that has chosen you, it has chosen you for a very specific reason. It sees that you are the perfect person. You might not believe that. You might have the founder's imposter syndrome, maybe, or the self doubt, whatever. But if the universe has chosen you, you have that spark. You're going to bring it to life. And there are lots of people who will tell you. There are people who've talked about their books when they've written that. There are lots of scientists as well, even Albert Einstein. He was a great believer in this, that, there's ideas that are coming from beyond us where he's done his biggest discoveries. So if we can just play with that idea that it is something bigger than me that is driving the whole thing, and I'm literally channeling it and doing it, then you first of all you let go of the pressure. Second, you understand, well, they've chosen me for whatever I'm uniquely doing. And the
Mm.
whole idea just becomes around finding your joy. Look at people who have mastered their things. I mean, that could be Dan Sullivan as a coach, that could be other people around you. But think that they really believed in whatever they were passionate of, and they were just going and doing that. You could think of that in terms of comedians or cooks. Like, there's so many stories out there of people who had no chance of being that big or famous, and they just followed their innate passion. And it's such a simple thing, then, that we've just got to play. We've got to find our place of joy, and things will follow. Like, just don't take the pressure. Let the universe take the pressure. It knows what it's doing. It's chosen you. You just play the game.
Play the game. I like that. Let's move on to the final five quick fire questions. We ask all our guests 5 questions, not the same questions. So moving on from that about making money doing what people making money what doing what they love, what do you think is the biggest myth that people believe about making money doing what they love? What do you feel is the biggest myth? What's the first thing that comes into your mind?
Oh, well, they can think that they don't have to do anything, as if it will flow to them. And I always say it's not that, it is inspired action. Just that
Hmm.
action will feel so much fun to you.
Okay. What's one belief about success that you had to completely unlearn for yourself? So maybe a sort of pre-existing belief you had about success that you realized once you'd launched a business you had to unravel and rewind.
Yeah. Oh, I love this question because I looked at all the gurus out there, and not their fault, they were all successful at their thing and they all had their formulas. And I thought that's what I had to do to get successful as well. And what I
Mm.
realize is that it works for them. My own unique essence and everyone else's unique essence is very different. What will work for you, your spark is very different. So it just has to be aligned with you. For my clients, I'm not telling them to, I mean, if they really like it, there might be certain things that we do, some videos or something, but it's always aligned with the energy. You don't have to follow the gurus, it's going to be your own signature. Just tap into yourself. What do you like doing? What do you like playing?
Let's talk about a boundary. What is one boundary you wish you'd set sooner in your business? One boundary you wish you'd set sooner in your business.
Ah, can I do two?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, the first boundary was, and I learned the hard way. I think a lot of coaches do that as well. Um, I really wanted to impact the world as best as I could. So I was either offering things free a lot or really lowering my prices.
Mm.
And then I learned that that's not the way it happens. A, the people who come in, they're not truly committed. And
Yes.
two, if you really want to make transformation happen, that energy exchange needs to happen on both sides. So that was the first one. Second boundary was around choosing clients. In the beginning, I felt that, oh, anyone who's coming, like I'll just take them in and I'll do my magic. The dance has to happen both ways. And ironically, the clearer I became with my boundaries around these are the people I need to work with, the better my clients felt, the better the transformation was. Like it is just such a win win. It is such a conundrum that what we've grown up believing that this is how we have to do, there's certain rules in the society we have to follow. And what I see and discuss with the other coaches as well, that the more you are you, the more you do you better, the more everything aligns around you. And it's such a gift to the whole universe as well.
Just one word, Kanika. What's the first word that comes into your mind when you describe your relationship with visibility, online visibility? What's the first word that comes to mind for you?
Trust, trust,
Mm, that's a good one.
trust. Trusting with
If
me, trusting others, trusting the
Yeah,
universe. Yeah.
trust is fundamental. And finally, if you could give one piece of advice about pricing, we discussed pricing earlier, what would it be to your clients, to our audience? What would one piece of advice be around pricing?
Think about the results. Think about the transformation when you're pricing and then
Transformative
price.
outcome from A to B.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Don't price based on the hours. Don't price based on how much it's costing you and all of that. Your worth and the transformation for the client also depends on how you price it. So, really think of the transformation, the results that will come through it. Because your intent brings in everything. Also, if you're thinking just from a cost perspective, you lower that frequency for them. They're not even able to get that full value of transformation.
Kanika, what's one final takeaway of everything we've discussed that you'd like to give the audience? If somebody listens to this conversation, what is one fundamental nugget, notable nugget that you want them to leave with? We discussed quite a
If
lot
you
of things.
have, yeah, yeah, yes, it's been a great episode. Uh, But if you have a calling, if there's something that nudges you, now there are numerous stories out there of so many successful people. Like I would encourage people to go and listen to your podcast.
Thank you.
But listen to those stories. You have the calling for a reason. Step into it. Take the pressure off you that you're supposed to do everything. Trust that you are the chosen one to bring that calling into life.
Kanika, where can my listeners connect with you? Where is the best platform to do that? Do you have a freebie that people can download? Do you have a website? Where is the best place to connect with you?
Yeah, I'd love to connect with people. I'm on LinkedIn or YouTube or Instagram at Kanika Energy Coach. And then I do have a freebie for the lovely listeners. So if you want to uplevel your life, there's something going on and you want to be more visible, you want to have more meaning, you really want to increase the amount of money that you earn every month as well, then just book a call with me. I will give you 2 or 3 recommendations on what you can start doing now to up level. And that would be at artoflifecenter.com/call. That is center with a CENTER, artoflifecenter.com/call.
Artoflifecenter.com, TER. We'll get all these links out to our audience
Thank
in the
you.
show notes. All right, let's wrap it up for today's episode of Freelancer Training on how to find direct clients. Stay tuned for more engaging discussions on the ever-evolving language of digital marketing and language. Until next time, remember to stay on your game. I always say stay on your game, and don't forget to future-proof your career in the AI era. Goodbye from me, your host, Jason Willis-Lee, and a big thank you again to my special guest today, Kanika Vasudeva. See you next time.
Thank you so much, Jason.
Here's a fun fact about Jason. Jason is a big Indiana Jones fan. Thanks for tuning in to the How to Find More Direct Clients Than You Can Poke a Stick At podcast. We'll be back soon. In the meantime, why not head over to www.entrepreneurialtranslator.com to access all our tools and resources to monetize and future-proof your freelance translation business. And don't forget to hit the plus button in Apple Podcasts or iTunes, or subscribe in Spotify to be notified when new episodes drop. For regular tips and insights, business strategy, or marketing techniques straight to your inbox, please sign up at www.entrepreneurialtranslator.com.